Hi everyone, welcome back to our midweek sales video, and these are most of the games, the cheapest they've ever been. It must be a big Easter sale or something.
Yeah, quite possibly. So this is our 50% off until as high as we can go basically on the Switch. And don't forget, if you're looking for Eshop credit, to pick any of these up, if you use our website, switchup.gg, and get your Eshop cards from there, you get 5% back in cash back on top of what you're saving on here.
Lovely. All right, what are the best games on sale at the moment? Well, let's find out. First up, we've got Spiritfarer from Thunder Lotus Games. Now, we've mentioned this a bunch of times, probably doesn't need much introduction anymore. Essentially, you're ferrying the spirits of the dead. You've got a little cat that joins you along the way, and you gradually build up this boat as it moves from port to port, carrying out little quests and missions. A lovely looking game from Thunder Lotus. Like, it really does emphasize the power that art can have on the end product. Like, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. And it's quite an interesting mix of gameplay styles, because you've got some platforming when you get to port. You've got the almost like visual novel story side of it, which is quite poignant, obviously, bearing in mind the subject matter. But then you've also got that building side of creating homes almost for people that join your boat as you go along. Yeah, really interesting game.
Yeah, a lovely blend of those different things. This is the cheapest it's ever been. It's 85% off until April the 27th. After that, I thought we would put in one of the older, but actually more recent Persona releases on Switch.
Yep.
We've got Persona 4 Golden, which is down to its cheapest. It's 60% off at the moment. It's not a lot at all. And I know this one is more loved potentially than the third.
Certainly than the third, I would say. I don't know about 5. 5 may have kind of stolen its thunder, but for a while 4 was almost like the pinnacle of the Persona series. Certainly this Golden release, because I had this on the Vita. And so yeah, it's a fantastic RPG. You know, if you've played a Persona game before, you know the kind of way it works with your schoolmates, and you're going off into dungeons and whatnot. I have to say, I have said before, I've always preferred the Shin Megami Tensei series because they're linked. Persona was a spin-off of that, but 4 was the one of the ones I'd played that really did sink in for me.
Yeah, there's an Atlas DNA, I think, that goes across a lot of their games. In fact, all of their games.
For sure.
Even the one, I forget the name of it, that hasn't been released on Switch yet, blatantly be on Switch 2. There is this DNA, you know, that they kind of share. And off the back of that one, I've also stuck Persona 5 Royal, which is its cheapest ever price. 65% off until April the 27th. Now, this one we have played a bunch of. They're all similar, and it's funny, I hadn't played 4, so I played 5 first.
Yeah.
Went back to 4 and was like, okay, there's similarities. It's just a kind of pushed it along, I guess, a bit more, but you still have your high school elements. A lot of those mundane elements that seem almost intrinsic to these games.
Yeah, and that's the difference I feel between this and Shin Megami Tensei, where you have the school side of it, which just doesn't appeal to me personally. I enjoyed 4, like I said, but give me the chance to play a similar game, but without that, and I'll pick that instead. And that's where it's nice that you have the two series that do differ in that respect. Yeah,
what I really enjoyed about this were the alternate universes you go to, which are called like labyrinths, and they're all based in people's psyches. You're basically trying to overthrow the worst side of them.
Yes, yeah.
It's quite cool. Yeah, good game. But for that price, if I was going to choose one of the two, I'd personally go for 5.
Yeah.
You know, having seen 4 after the fact, you can see the evolution.
Nice to have both on sale though.
All of the Doom games are currently on sale. You've got their biggest ever discounts. I've stuck with Doom 2016.
Yep.
Just, isn't it weird? Like, in gameplay sense terms, you could argue that the sequel is, I don't even know if it's better. I think it just has more.
Yeah.
But I actually prefer the first.
Yeah, I would go along with that, because I feel that the first one of those two stayed a bit truer to the original Dooms.
Yeah.
Whereas Eternal did some other bits which are not bad. I'm not saying they're bad, but there's a certain expectation in my mind when I play a Doom game, and that one moved a bit further away from that. Both great games, though, to be fair. Yeah,
really good. Runs well on the Switch. Has that real pace to it. Cracking for the price, really. And I think a lot of ID Software games are on sale in this one at their cheapest price. So you go and, we've got reviews of a lot of these, so you can go check them out and see which one you prefer. That's 75% off until April the 27th. We've also got our cheapest ever price on Burnout Paradise Remastered, which I know you enjoyed when it came at 84% off.
Yeah, this is a great game. I've always liked the Burnout series because I suppose that what it does has been done so many times since now. But back then, the idea of the racing almost being secondary, like not quite, but it was just about getting to the front as however you could, and that kind of reckless nature to it. I thought it was so refreshing back then, and this is a great game in that series.
Then we've got Disco Elysium, the final cut. Glen jokingly said like a Disco Elysium joke before we started recording this, and I was like, yeah, is it there?
Yeah,
it's cheapest ever price.
That's fair enough. You've got to spread the word if you like the game.
Spread the word.
But to be fair, I played not a lot of it. I played a bit around here, didn't I? Hours worth maybe.
Yeah.
It was great. Really enjoyed it. Very, very good game from what I played. You had that kind of the choice system, but with the dice.
Yeah.
Meaning that you couldn't always necessarily do exactly what you wanted or how you wanted to do it. The narration was spot on. Yeah. It really added to it, didn't it?
Good.
Yeah, his voice, man, it's
serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny because there's like 3 spin-off games being made by ex-members of the teams.
Oh, okay.
So it's a shame, isn't it? Sometimes with the I don't want to call it a masterpiece, but I'm going to say the highest tier of film and games, very often they fracture. Yeah. People want a sequel that they're never going to get.
Yeah.
And then you see like those teams go and do other things, and you hope that it's going to be as good, but it very rarely is.
Yeah, I do think sometimes sequels just diminish what came before it almost, you know what I mean? Certainly if it's a continuation of the same story, it's sometimes best, as hard as it is, because you want more, to just accept it as a one-off, and that's why it was so good, Yeah,
absolutely. You're completely right. I'm thinking of there's a few things in my head from film coming up, and I'm like, yeah, mostly that is the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless there was something in the original vision they just couldn't achieve for whatever reason.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at, I would go to The Godfather as an example where the sequel is, I don't think it's better, a lot of people do, I think it's as good, certainly. But the reason for that, in my opinion, is because the original book, the whole Don Corleone's young life was in the book. It's just they didn't put it in the first film. So you had the DNA of the book still in the second film.
Right.
Whereas sometimes where they just go off with completely new material, they lose their way a bit,
Absolutely. Yeah, you see it all the time, whereas something like Terminator 2, I think that technically they had things that they wanted to do that they couldn't, and then it kind of...
Well, Terminator 2, this is really becoming something that's not anything to do with the game, but Terminator 2 made the choice of making the villain the hero, so it was completely fresh.
Yeah.
Aliens went away from horror and became an action film, completely fresh. I don't think Aliens is as good as Alien. I do think Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1.
Yeah.
But the reason they had a chance of succeeding is because they changed things up completely,
Film up.
It has to happen someday.
But yeah, go out and get Disco Elysium. Great game. Following on from that, we've got the cheapest ever price on Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, which is down 70%. Didn't just check it. I knew it off by heart.
Oh, yeah.
This is such an old school RPG that I don't think it will appeal to everyone. Like if you've gone out and played your, what's the Capcom one?
Dragon's Dogma?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Very quick, yeah. Dragon's Dogma, then that had its sequel, Dragon's Dogma 2, on other platforms. If you've gone and played those, if you came back to this, it would feel very dated.
Right, okay.
Even down to just the animations, everything about it. But if you like CRPGs and you want one that's in this viewpoint, that third person, more action-based, you'll have a great time with this.
Okay.
You've just jumped into the shoes of Frodo. Or the wizard. It's up to you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, choice. Good to have choice.
We love choice. And you can choose to pick that one up if you want at 70% off until April the 27th.
Good stuff.
Another one that's down to its cheapest ever price, and our subscribers pick, because they always like to suggest one that we put into the video, and it's Into the Breach. It keeps coming up, but then they keep dropping the price down. So it's like, well, we'll just mention it.
Yeah.
So it's down 60% at the moment to its cheapest ever price. I think it's, what, £4.50, something like that.
Right, nice.
Or your regional equivalent. Really interesting strategy game, TRPG,
Yep.
but on like the top of, I don't even know what you'd call it. You know, it's just a little like square in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, it's like an isometric viewpoint, but as you say, it's a very small grid, isn't it, compared to other TRPGs where you've got more of an expansive world. Feels quite claustrophobic because of that. And as you mentioned, rightly so many people recommend this game, don't they?
It's supposed to be amazing, really addictive. I didn't realise, and I've just seen it there, that it's from the developer of Faster Than Light, FTL.
Nice.
Didn't know that. But yeah, Into the Breach at that price, it's just a no-brainer really. Cracking game. Next up, we've got Roots of Pacha, which has had a massive update. This is a bit of a life sim, but set in like caveman times.
Oh, I remember this one, yes.
Yeah, did a little review of this. I wouldn't call it cozy. It's a bit more of like an adult, I don't want to say cozy, I'll say sim life. A bit more of an adult sim life game.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed this. Very much like the setting of the cavemen. You've got the usual smorgasbord of activities, you know, go make a field, farm this, go repair the bridge, all the classics. But I just enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done.
I think any time these life sim games change the setting or the time period, it just injects a bit of freshness into them, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. If you're not like looking after your granddad's farm, you're winning.
Exactly right.
Okay, the last game, and I put a hidden gem on here because you all know all about it. It's a game called Dawn of Monsters, which is published by Way Forward. It's like a kaiju brawling malarkey, but it's down 63%. It's like a few quid.
Yeah, I do remember this one. It had like a hand-drawn art style.
It did.
Yeah, I believe I reviewed this one. I'm sure I did, yeah. And I enjoyed it. No, I enjoyed this one. I liked obviously the kaiju battling and obviously having the city behind you and the destruction that you can do. If you have any sort of love for kaiju, you know, games that really focus in on that feeling are few and far between. So it's great when you do get one, and if you are a fan, you'll definitely enjoy this more. How much was this down by? Did you say, sorry?
This is down 65% to 8 quid.
8 quid, yeah, that's not a bad price. Perhaps watch the review first and see what you think at full price, and obviously then realign your thoughts with that discount in mind. But I remember enjoying this one for sure.
So that's it for this week. Let us know in the comments if you'll be picking any of these up. Have we damaged the backlogs? I'd like to know.
Yep, and again, don't forget, if you're looking for Eshop credit, you can use our website, SwitchUp.gg, and doing so will get you 5% of your purchase price back as cash back. There are other links down there to places such as Play Asia, and again, if you use our link and our code, you get yourself some money off there. Thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and until next time, happy gaming.